It's the final countdown. It is the night before the council will come round and do something about this leak under my floor. Now, I didn't post anything yesterday, and I know this post is going to go up at like 2:30 in the morning, but my own gaining of a bad flu or possible chest infection, whichever it was, has caused me to be pretty much asleep for the last 24 hours. Now, I don't know what an emergency plumber can actually do, but you may recall, if you've seen it, my previous video I said about putting a sealant by the door jamb. This thing. Just a little bit of sealant under here, and that is what, aside from that dry spot, has managed to keep at bay anything from becoming worse. Now, I admit I didn't think of that for quite a few days, and I had the heating up to something like 20 or 22 degrees for practically a week, which I believe would have helped in keeping this from spilling, and as what's helped it to evaporate. I mean, let's face it, it's water. It can evaporate at any temperature, scientifically speaking. So you can tell it's been a week and that bit has dried there, so something's been happening with it. But this has not got any wetter. It's not got any drier, but it was completely saturated a couple of days ago. I've managed to put off the swimming lessons so far. The hell is that? More cardboard. I've also had to use this hoover. It's a proper hoover, but it's not a wet dry hoover, so I'm going to need to work on drying that out. It just amazing. I don't know what they're supposed to do, because an emergency plumber comes around and has a massive works van, like a transit, like anybody else who comes around does. And there's only so much they can do. They can't do everything. Can they do a little bit of freaking sealant? Come on. Make safe. You're supposed to have a duty of responsibility, a duty of care. If that stops with being able to fix the pipe, turning the water off, putting a sealant around a pipe, how does it not extend to a sealant gun or plumber's putty? Something to block across that doorway, which would have kept the water inside that bit. But no. The council were more than willing to keep me ruining all my towels, so every single towel, some of my bed sheets, duvet cover, pillowcases, everything I had to stop it from flooding the rest of my flat. It dumbfounds me how they can't just put down a bit of sealant. Now, I can understand it's the festive period. Ooh, happy holidays. Everyone's on holiday. Everyone is on holiday. All the managers, the estate managers, housing managers, all the representatives that would have been able to do anything about this to begin with. Everybody's on holiday. So, even if I wanted to do anything, there would have been no one to take any notice of it until the day they're coming down anyway. I made a nuisance. I've got loads of phone calls recorded of them practically saying that they'd rather my flat flood then do anything about it, and always citing that emergency plumbers can only do so much, they can't do everything. Well, I know that. They can't cut the water off to a flat because they don't know if it's private or council. That's stupid. Send somebody down to ask them. Apparently that is also beyond their duty of care and responsibilities. It is absolutely outrageous. But hopefully this will be the last night I have to suffer with having everything in here. I've had to rearrange some things and it's not as tidy because there's loads of cardboard boxes I had ruined. So some of these things would have been in cardboard boxes. I've got bass guitar cases which were soaked from the bottom up. Hopefully my bass guitars are not wrecked. But that shelving system was lucky to escape where the way it did. It was wrecked from the bottom upwards. Saved all of that. But yeah, managed to contain it. Absolutely wrecked me out. Had to go for emergency GP to help get medications and stuff. Antibiotics and things. Is that a cold or a flu that's going around? Is that a case of all this standing water making me sick? My flat also smells like the fart box of a tramp. I'm not quite sure which one I'd rather have. Anyway, let's say it's 2:30 in the morning. I woke up in a cold sweat again, so I've had to have a quick wipe of my face with some water, turn the heating down, just so I can try and eliminate that as a source of raising my body temperature. Gonna head back to bed, and in the morning we'll see if I get any replies from any people who actually apparently can do bigger things for me. And then we get to start the complaints, and then we get to start the claims, and then the repairs. Because I'm pretty sure that underneath this carpet that has been absolutely destroyed, the concrete hasn't held up very well. I dread to think what's going on outside. There were a couple of bricks that looked like they started to separate on one corner of the flats, and the ground looked to be slightly sunken. I'm hoping that's just me noticing this, and that's been like that since I moved in, because otherwise the council has willingly allowed a miney. That's a new word for you, ladies and gentlemen. Miney. It's a combination between tiny and miniature. I don't know if it makes it bigger than tiny or smaller than miniature, but they've allowed that to occur underneath the corner of the flats, which will underpin and subside that bit. So they've potentially allowed a massive construction problem because they didn't want to turn the water off on somebody they didn't know if they were council or private. Ask them a freaking question. Do it of an evening. Allow it during the daytime. Come like 10 o'clock at night. Send somebody around. Get them to fill up something with water so they've got a cup of tea for the evening. And then turn the water off. But no, logic defies emergency plumbers. What? I'm sorry? No, I'm not bitter or angry or twisted at all. Oh wait, I am. Well, let's see what happens in the morning. I'm going to try and do my best to have a conversation with these guys before they start, which hopefully I'll be able to bring to you as well. And then we can see where we're going, because this isn't going to stand as it is. I'm doing all of this not only just for my own evidence, because my phone storage doesn't keep all of it onto it, so I'm putting it up on the YouTube as a secondary bit of evidence. And hopefully somebody out there is going to see it and go, oh my God, how dare they? How very dare they? I'm not just doing this for publicity, I'm doing this because I'm sure, as I've said before, there's other people that are in this situation as well, and they need to know there's a way out. For me, it's taken basically a week of walking around with wet feet. Luckily, I've avoided trench foot. That's always a risk. Not noticed any leeches in my swamps so far, and that's not a euphemism. But I'll catch you guys in about 6 hours when these people arrive from the council in order to do something about what's going on. Hopefully they're not going to be a right bunch of stupids and go, oh, we can't do anything, we need to dig. Well, that's the point. Told you that a week ago. Right. Stay safe, peeps. Good evening.